Happy Women's Day to all of you here. It's a very, very special Women's Day, especially where the Nightingales are being honored. This is the Nightingales version 3.0. Version after version, it only shows there are like so many women achievers who took the chance, made the change, and stood unique. May we now request Shri C.A. P.S. Prabhakar, Chairman, President of the Society of Auditors, C.A. Chengalpattu, Chairman of SARC, to accompany our chief guest, Honorable Justice Chitra Venkatraman, onto the dais, please. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. There's no restrictions on clapping, please. May we also request C.A. Kadresan, Chairman of the Chengalpattu branch of SARC of ICAI, to accompany our author, C.A.V. Pattabhiram, onto the dais, please. May we also request C.A. Ramanathan, Treasurer, SARC of ICAI, on the dais. Rise up for the ICAI motto song.
Yaesha supteshu jagrati, Yaesha supteshu jagrati, Kamam 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 Purusho nirmimanaha Tadeva shukram Tada Brahma Tadeva amritamucchate Tasmin lokaha shataha Sarve tadunatyati kaschan Etadvaita
At each other's face has become such a big pleasure, and I think there cannot be a better pleasure for the Chairman SARC to welcome the gathering at the Brahmaya Hall, probably after 1 year. I think this is the first ever program we are having it together here at the Brahmaya Hall.
Very respected Chief Guest of this program, Honorable Justice Ms. Chitra Venkatraman, Chairman of Chengalpattu District Branch, C.A. Kadresan, President of Society of Auditors, C.A. P.S. Prabhakar, my colleague in the Regional Council, C.A. Ramanathan, the authors of my other colleagues in this Regional Council, C.A. Sudharajan, former General Council member, C.A. C. Kumar, authors of Nightingales 3.0, C.A.V. Pattabhiram sir, and the most respected senior member of our profession, C.A. Sivakumar sir, women members of ICA, friends, very good morning to all of you. It's my proud privilege and pleasure to share the dais with the Honorable Justice Ms. Chitra Venkatraman and other eminent functionaries on the occasion of Women's Day, with the gathering of women's ears both in person and through virtual mode. It is an occasion to recognize the women's contribution to the society and to its well-being. In every field of human activity, it is the women who play a dominant role in shaping one's career. I am therefore extremely happy to welcome, on behalf of all the organizers Chief Guest Honorable Justice Ms. Chitra Venkatraman, who had graced many of our programs in past two. Madam, we heartily thank you for gracing this presence this morning and being the embodiment of women empowerment. Your august presence adds value to the proceedings of this session. Madam, I am happy to share that ICAI has more than 80,000 women chartered accountants and close to 3 lakh girl students pursuing CA course. I am happy to recognize Central Council member of ICAI, Rajendra Kumar sir. The strength of women in the profession is growing faster pace. In very near future, their strength will cross 1 lakh women CS. In the last two occasions, when SIRC had joined with the Society of Auditors and D. Rangasamy Academy for Fiscal Research, 2 books under the caption Nightingales showcasing the career of women chartered accountants were released and written by C.A.V. Pattabhiram sir, C.A.R. Shivakumar sir. I congratulate the authors for giving an exhaustive account of achievements the women chartered accountants in the previous 2 books. It is the fitness of things that Nightingale 3.0 is to be released by our chief guest, who is the inspirational personality for the women fraternity. I extend my warm welcome to authors of the book. I also heartily welcome C. Prabhakar sir and all organizers for this program. I also offer my welcome to all the women members of our profession who have made a mark in their career both in practice and industry. There is every reason for them to feel proud that besides the social obligation they had to perform, they are excelling in the field of accounting profession and bringing laurels to ICAI. With these few words, I greet all the women chartered accountants on the occasion of Women's Day and wish you all progressive and purposeful days ahead and good wishes to all our endeavors. Thank you so much for this great opportunity.
Thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure to listen to Pattabhi sir, irrespective of the topic. And when it comes to his own creation, we are equally excited to listen to you, sir. Over to you.
It's been a fairy tale experience this last 2 years. Sometime in March 2019, both Mr. Shivkumar and I told ourselves that there are a lot of chartered accountants who have been doing extremely well in their chosen fields, and yet their stories are not as widely told as the stories of the IIT-IIM graduates. We told ourselves that in the next 4 years, we should showcase about 75 to 80 such people cutting across states and maybe across countries. Today we are in the halfway mark, 45. 3 volumes of Nightingales that capture 33 outstanding women performers. 1 volume of Flying High that talks about 12 men chartered accountants. I don't think any of this would have ever been possible but for the writing team that we assembled together. A bunch of writers who did a great job coming out with the first and second drafts. I should also tell you that in all the interviews that we have done, all the 45 or maybe 44, obviously we couldn't have interviewed Lady Shivabogo, of the 44, in all of them except 2, which was part of Nightingale 3, I was also directly involved in the interviewing process, and from there the writers took over. I don't think the book's look and feel would be as good, as great as it has been, but for the work of our designer, my good friend Malai Selvan. Most importantly, I think none of this would have ever happened but for the efforts that the Nightingales put in terms of both their time and in terms of content and in terms of making fact checks. And I think but for that, none of these would have happened. Lastly, before I throw it open to identifying or introducing you to the various Nightingales before we do that through an audio video clipping, I just want to tell you that we look forward to writing about Indians who are settled abroad and who have Indians as in chartered accountants who are settled abroad and have been doing great work. Any of you is obviously open to give us your ideas, be part of the journey as well. I would like to thank, of course, the SIRC for the opportunity of having this book released under their 80s. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, sir. I think this is just going to go version after version, and the content will never get exhausted. And of course, like the unique language skills of Pattabhi sir, the taglines also will never get exhausted. He's going to be creative and creative book after book. Thank you, sir. Can we have the teaser of the book?
Video.
3.0 Choice, Chance and Change. How 11 women made the choice to take a chance and change their lives. The third in the Nightingale franchise comes to you with the extraordinary stories of 11 remarkable women. Written by R. Sivakumar and V. Pattabhiram. Nandita Shah Parekh, the first woman gold medalist in the CA final examination. She stood up for women's empowerment in the profession, mentored youngsters, climbed mountains, travelled far and wide, and now leads a schedule she describes as retired from work, engaged with life. In between, Nandita Parekh broad-based her grandfather's CA firm and carried out a merger in the auditing space. Anuradha Mahesh. When a young CA realized that the apple of her eye, her son, would lose out on many milestones and be a special child forever, it tore her heart. In the jigsaw puzzle of life, she missed one piece. Not money, not a career, not spirituality, not a relationship. When she found the piece, it became a turning point in her life. Anuradha Mahesh now works to provide the specially abled with sheltered employment. SANGEETA SUMESH, a little girl from a middle-class family in Chennai, dreamt of bungalows and foreign trips. This is the story of her rise to the upper echelons of the industry. Know her journey towards becoming the CFO and ED of a global major. The 46-year-old now coaches corporate leaders and entrepreneurs on high performance and leadership. Thanamai Ramachandran. Growing up amidst poverty, she chased the dream of education and CA. Life wasn't kind to her. When her husband met with a fatal accident that threw her life back to where it all began. But she did not lose her focus. Worked, studied, and finally, at 37, emerged as a CA. Now a vice president of HDFC Bank, she is highly respected in her circle. Shri Priya Kumar. A former NCC cadet and a PW intern, Shri Priya Kumar worked in a Ford Mahindra before setting up her CA firm. Her claim to fame is her 6-year stint in governing council as an elected member, where she was both eloquent and hard-nosed. Did she make a difference in the male-dominated zone? What's she up to next? S.N. Rajeshwari. From State Salem, she rose to become the chairman and managing director of India's giant public sector insurance company. The first woman CA head of an insurance major, S.N. Rajeshwari brings dignity and grace to her office. Now, as an upcoming regulator, she plans to take insurance to the masses. SARADA SRIRAM. Without compromising her duties as a daughter, a spouse and a mother, she demonstrated her entrepreneurial skills. Together with her partner, they run 1,000 plus centers that teach abacus and other learning skills to children in India and abroad. A CA rank holder and a gold medalist CWA, SARADA SRIRAM has entrepreneurship run in her blood. Meena Kumari Venkateswaran. First a career in corporate India, later in journalism, then CA practitioner cum teacher, before completing the circle of getting back to companies, albeit abroad. She probably could have been a star dancer if she had seriously followed up on her Bharatnatyam. The woman who took the road less travelled and was drawn towards community service. Vidya Nagarajan. At 36, she was amongst the youngest partners in a Big Four public accounting firm. She has spent all her time in tax and almost all of them in one firm, at a time when it's fanciful to switch horse midstream. Hailing from the cultural heartland of Chennai, Vidya Nagarajan is on her way to winning a race of her creation. Pushkala Hariharan. The girl next door overcame personal tragedy and financial hardships. She battled against depression through her 3D glasses of discipline, dedication, and determination. She proved she could stand tall when she pushed the envelope to hit a promising career in India's well-known public sector undertakings. A case of a dream and a drive. Lakshmi Ramamurthy. A corporate woman who took multiple breaks from corporate India to take care of her family comes back each time with renewed vigor to scale newer heights. Lakshmi symbolizes what can be achieved if you look for solutions and not problems. She currently runs an Anganwadi school with the government and plans to take the idea far and wide. Our varied writing team consists of Balaji Swaminathan, a freelance journalist; Sudha Atreya, a civil engineer; Valambal Subramanyam, a school teacher, all from Bengaluru; Chartered Accountants, Geeta Ranganathan from Chennai, Lijil Lakshman from Kochi, and Siddharth Ranjan from Bhubaneswar. And finally, journalist J. Evangeline from Puducherry. Pieced together by CA R. Sivakumar and CA V. Pattabhiram. Giving a life to all this is the design by N. Malaiselvan.
You can order your copy in Amazon.in and also available in Amazon Kindle version.
And finally, signing off is voice artist Harish Sahas for Team Nightingale.
We have one more. Being a Nightingale definitely feels very, very special, and appreciation is definitely the boost for all and the healer for all the strains and pains. Let's listen to the responses by the Nightingales.
Nightingale 3.0. Choice, Chance and Change. How 11 women made the choice to take a chance and change their lives.
The choices you make, the chances you take, shapes the kind of changes you want for your sake. Nightingale 3 is an inspirational book revolving around the life journey of 11 chartered accountant women, talking about the choices they made, the chances they took that shaped the changes that they wanted in their lives. I'm Sangeeta Shankaran Sumesh, and I'm delighted to be featured in this book. It made me feel nostalgic as it took me down memory lane from my childhood to becoming a seasoned professional. My journey talks about becoming a chief financial officer and then moving on to becoming a business coach. Hearty congratulations to the authors on the launch of the book and wishing the book a roaring success.
Hello, I'm Nandita Parekh, chartered accountant, and really honored to be recognized as one of the Nightingales in the book that is now being released. When I enjoyed a certain period of my professional life, I wanted to replicate it for others. I had a really nice articleship, and I made sure that whoever articled with me also have very, very happy memories of their articleship. When I had some difficulties in my professional life, I tried to reduce those difficulties for others. So as a woman trying to balance my work and my life, I encountered certain difficulties, and I resolved them with a lot of harmony. So whenever I come across women professionals, I try to make life easier for them by giving them work that has meaning and life which remains comfortable. Now when I look back, I always feel that a professional is not about what you earn or what you take home. It is all about what you give, the impact and the influence that you create. Thank you.
Namaste. My name is Sripriya Kumar and I'm a chartered accountant. At the outset, I'm very deeply honored and humbled to have been featured in this book, Nightingale's Edition 3, which seeks to celebrate the lives of women professionals. And I'm thankful to God and to each one of you who made this very exciting personal and professional journey possible. As women, we have a lot to contend with, and the only thing that seems to be a constant is the balancing act that we do between our personal and professional lives. And very often in our times of need, I found this very helpful to think of this as an auto-suggestion. Have you ever wondered why the most powerful portfolios in the divine cabinet are actually held by women gods? Lakshmi for wealth, Saraswati for knowledge, and Shakti for defense. And if these women gods and the many women around us have managed to multitask and deliver exceptionally well, so can we. Here's wishing you a very, very happy Women's Day 2021. Thank you.
Hi, I'm very happy and feel extremely blessed to be featured in this Nightingale's Edition 3. More than me, my parents are super related, absolutely top of the world for the distinction of being featured. I want to thank all my extended family, my friends, my colleagues, my firm for all the support, encouragement and best wishes me through the years.
Hi friends, I am CA Tanamai Ramachandran and I am extremely delighted to be featured in this book Nightingales 3.0. As I look back at the years gone by, I am thankful to God who made my life, my career and now this book to happen. Above all, I can say that women are indeed made of sterner stuff. Happy, of course, in happy times and strongest in times of distress. This book has made a reason to make me want to do more, to be an outstanding professional, and in the days to come, I hope to give back to the society at least some part of all the goodness I have received. Here is to great times ahead for all of us, women in particular. Stay safe, stay happy and be good.
Hi, I'm ANURADHA Mahesh and I'm very happy to be a part of this Nightingale book. It's indeed a great privilege to share space with so many accomplished women. I always believed that we all have just one life, a short one, and hence we need to live it with a lot of love and dignity and of course happiness. So if you believe that doing something gives you happiness or what you're doing is actually making you feel happy, that's about it. I think this is the same for everybody. You, me, somebody who's differently abled, specially abled, just able, it doesn't make a difference. I think we all need to appreciate that, understand that and work towards an inclusive environment, an inclusive world and appreciate the goodness and kindness in everybody. Because at the end of the day, there is ability in every disability.
It's due to the good wishes and encouragement of Shivakumar sir that I have the honor of being featured on the pages of Nightingale's 3 today. What would have otherwise been a very daunting task indeed was made pleasant because of Mr. Pattabira and Amba. We shared many a light moment during our many conversations. To this profession of chartered accountancy, I owe much. It has enabled me to serve through knowledge sharing and teaching. It has given me the much prized flexibility which helped me to meet my various commitments at various stages of my life. And it has enabled me to indulge my many interests. I guess that every life is a story of a journey. With His grace, I see that my life is a journey from becoming to being. A journey that I'm still on. I have miles to go before I sleep.
It gives me great pleasure to be part of this Nightingale book, and I never thought of, dreamt of something like this when I gave up my CA and became an entrepreneur. So it's really a pleasant surprise to be featured in this. Having said that, the CA has always been a part of me, whether in terms of helping me run the business or just the respect that it gives me whenever I go out and meet people. So really happy to be a part of the fraternity and to be featured in this.
As I was working with the Nightingale's team, I was reflecting on my life and I was thinking about what it is that has helped me succeed. And I came up with 3 P's. The first one being passion. I've been blessed with a sense of passion for anything that I undertake, and that has helped bring out the best in me. The second P is persistence. Now, when one is very passionate about what one does, one is able to focus on the goal, undeterred by any challenge that comes in the way. The third and the most important P is people. I've been blessed with some wonderful people in my life, without whom I wouldn't be what I am today. I'd like to thank the Nightingale's team for helping me put my life in perspective and for giving me an opportunity to count my blessings. Thank you.
I'm very much happy to be a part of this edition. I convey my sincere greetings to all the ladies who have become Nightingales in the earlier edition and the future Nightingales also. On the eve of the Women's Day, I convey my greetings to all the CA ladies and girls who are pursuing CA. My thanks to C. Shiv Kumar and Pattabhiram for bringing out these editions year after year. All the best. Jai Hind.
My name is Pushkala. I am honored and privileged to be a part of this book. I belong to a small town in a traditional family. Irrespective of ordeals of life during my young days, I could bounce back and become a pillar for my family. I feel girls are the powerful gift of the God, and only thing we need to do is to break the glass ceiling within us. I am thankful to all who have supported me. On this occasion, I am promising myself to extend the support back to society who are facing similar difficulties. Thank you.
Nightingale 3.0 Choice, Chance and Change. How 11 women made the choice to take a chance and change their lives.
Your various experiences have really made the Women's Day very, very special. So very inspiring. It gives us more energy to run faster and to work harder when we see our own fellow friends as great achievers. May we now request CA P.S. Prabhakar, the President of the Society of Auditors, to introduce our chief guest, Justice Chitra Venkatraman, the Needy Arasi.
Good morning, dear friends, and my warmest Women's Day greetings to all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'm delighted to perform my role of introducing the chief guest of the day, Justice Chitra Venkatraman, who comes from a family of very distinguished legal minds. Her father was also a justice, Justice Vival Subramaniam, and she was born in the year 1952 and had her schooling in Chennai, also college education in Chennai, and did her law also from Madras Law College, and has been practicing as an advocate since 1975 and she is the author of some of the best tax judgments and a very perspicacious lady in terms of her judgments. She was appointed as the additional judge in Madras High Court in December 2005 and became the permanent judge in Madras High Court in 2007. I've heard a lot about her from her brother-in-law, Justice M. Balasubramanian, with whom I had a lot of interactions. Post-retirement, she is involved in legal consultancy as well as arbitration work, and her husband also is a senior advocate, Mr. Venkatraman. With these few words, I am having a great pleasure in introducing Justice Venkatraman, Justice Chitra Venkatraman.
Thank you, sir. Can't wait to listen to you. Can we have the release of the book, Nightingale 3.0 version? A round of applause, please.
We had some problems in getting the book printed last minute. The printer was again happy to give us 3 copies. The first copy is going to be given to Dr. Taname Kutwa. Agama, hello. We honor the mothers, you know. Photo Tanamita Kutra. Nama Sandosama. Hello, Sandosama. These women need not be serious. Okay, they are much more than that, right? Thank you. Thank you. Second copy is going to be given to one Nightingale of the first edition, and my great student Anusha. Copy is another Nightingale. I'm very fond of her, and she's also very fond of me. The difficulty is that she talks too much like me also. Ain't she? Come on. Oh my God. that Justice delivers a speech. Okay. I think you have to wait to collect a memento. Books will be given directly to them in the house after it gets printed. Sorry that we couldn't make it to that. Last time it was okay. It was a little different and difficult for us to get it right. Anyway, the promise is always there from me. Once I commit, I commit. I am a committed accountant. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. The dignitaries on the dais, the nightingales of the day. On the dais as well as on the chairs in front of me. Let me at the outset thank this great institution for giving me this opportunity. Like a pilgrimage, I've been visiting every year or once in 2 years. It's a pleasant visit to this place. I enjoy this building so much. I have been associated with this complex for more than 30 years. I used to come with my uncle also, Mr. V. Jagadisan, chartered accountant. Fond memories of this place. In the welcome address, I just make one request to you all on this happy Women's Day. I was referred to as a woman judge, women chartered accountants. I thought your profession is gender-free, neutral. Why call a woman chartered accountant? Is there a balance sheet called woman's balance sheet? I don't know. Unless the Shivakumar and Patagrami says in the next book. And this NIGHTINGALE also, I don't know. I'm just a judge, that is all. It has no face or color. Although we are depicted as blind, we are not so. Justice is never blind. The reason why I am repulsive to the usage or adage of a woman judge, a judge being called a woman judge or a woman engineer or doctor is, we all undergo the same kind of training, study, certification. Our work is no different from what others do. Even today, I'm quoted about an incident which took place nearly 35 years back. I was 5 years old in my profession. I used to appear before the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal very often. I think that was the 25th year or so of the tribunal. They wanted to celebrate at 9:45 or so. I got a phone call from Justice Rangasamy, then a member of the judicial member in the tribunal. He said, "Look, Chitra, we are celebrating 25th year this morning. As a representative of women lawyers, I want you to come and make a speech." I said, "Sorry, sir, I'm not available. I will not come." He said, "Why? You can reach the court by 10:45. Why should you not come? I hate you are referring me as a representative of a woman lawyer. Are you giving me orders because I am a woman? Will you give? Please tell me. I don't want to come there." When there is the kind of discrimination he was referring here in a profession, which is a very noble profession, that includes chartered accountancy also, why at all you should refer me as a representative of women lawyers? Then I stand corrected, I will not say anything. You better come as a member of the junior generation. I said, certainly I will come. So when I went there, the first thing he spoke was about me. Look at this person, she said. Am I right? I call you as a person, not a woman. I said, thank you. I hope you continue to say so. And this he repeats even today. I said, was I not justified? He said, you was 100% justified. That is why I tell everybody that you will have to mold your thinking that you are gender neutral when you become a professional. Now today's International Women's Day starts with an appeal for, as in every year, for equality treatment of women and those workforce who had worked in the pandemic, COVID pandemic throughout the world.
I wondered why at all this should be a specialty for women. No doubt it's an International Women's Year. UN is entitled to release its theme for the year. But then when it said women in leadership, achieving an equal future in COVID-19, celebrate the tremendous efforts by women and girls around the world in shaping a more equal future from the COVID-19 pandemic. When I went through into the literature, I found there was a pay parity of 11% or more when it comes to payment to the workforce, women workforce, serving the nations, the community, the public in a pandemic, during pandemic time. And then the percentage of workers involved was 70%. There are only 24% of women health ministers all over the world to speak on that. So with the kind of disparity still persisting, UN appealed that there be a change in the attitude, treat everybody on par, and choose to challenge this disparity to bring about equal treatment before law, before everybody. That is a theme. Now, coming to the core of this today's function, leaving aside the Women's Day celebration, it's a celebration about the achievements of the Nightingales. I had a copy before I came here, Mr. Sivakumar had given me. As in the two other volumes, a very delectable reading, I should say. It may not be such a big volume to keep it as a pillow. But nevertheless, you can keep it under your pillow every day to draw some inspiration out of the achievements of persons who are drawn from different walks of life and different circumstances. We normally say behind every man there is a successful man, there is a woman. Scientifically it is stated, although man and woman are created equally, they have the equal physical strength also, they say. As far as the mental capacity is concerned, the woman's brain and the man's brain have 1% difference, which tilts in favor of a woman. That gives them the ability to communicate better. They have a gut feeling, the intelligence, communication, everything is better, which is necessary for showing the way for prosperity and upliftment of a society. So they create an atmosphere where man is free of all his emotions which pulls him down in any profession or any occupation or employment. So normally there's a, whenever a man succeeds, it's a woman. There's a silent worker behind, invariably unacknowledged in every sphere. But today I can say proudly that behind every successful woman, there is a man and a family. We need to acknowledge it today. Although I do champion the rights of women wherever there is injustice, still I also champion the cause of men wherever there is injustice done to them. Therefore, what is empowerment? Is it an exclusive domain of the women to have the empowerment, or does it mean an empowerment of men also? Without empowering men, there cannot be an empowerment of women, and vice versa. Therefore, when Sivakumar gave the book on the first occasion, on the first edition, on Nightingales, I first asked only one question. Sivakumar, is there the first lady as an opening page in your book? Sivababa. He said, yes. It's related to me also. I said, no wonder you are different from that metal who laid a very good role for the future generation to march on. Now I'm told that there are more than 25% of women joining this profession, which is a very great thing, I should say. And when I joined my profession, particularly in the High Court practice, there were very few handful. I can count it in one hand. Those days, legal profession or any profession for that matter was thought of as a cattle shed before marriage. So either there is no encouragement from the professionals or at the domestic front, and most of them left the profession soon after their marriage or after the first delivery of their child. Fortunately for me, it's my chosen profession. My family helped me, and there's a family which has contributed to a great extent to the success of my professional career, I should say. I acknowledge it openly. But for this, I don't think I could have managed my domestic front. But that also gave me the balancing act on my work and the domestic front, just as it had done in the case of all the nightingales. When I asked Sivakumar, why are you giving this name Nightingale? As usual, he gave a smile. And Chitra, the father, he said, okay. Then I went to the Google about Nightingale. I found that mythologically it was considered as a woman because of the full-throated voice, mellifluous voice, the notes it gives, beautiful to the ears, and which gives an inspirational booster. You might have read in all this literature, English literature about in Shakespeare, Milton, Wordsworth, and everybody. How much it influenced the thought process of people, particularly the song It Comes in the Night. It's so pleasing to the ears. But in later years they found this is a male bird, not a female bird, which makes a call to its mate to come and join in. So irrespective of the gender that the bird carries, male or a female, I always find the bird songs are associated with creativity and inspiration. Apparently, there's a reason why these two nightingales have chosen naming this book as Nightingales. Thank you, sir. And coming to the performance or the achievements of these nightingales, one thing struck me, a common thread in everything. How these contenders refuse to shrink themselves into that cocoon in which they are born. Redefining the possible, the life stories of these brilliant professionals show the intense search to better their capabilities, their responsibilities, their courage to create opportunities, find opportunities to better oneself, to lift them above all the normal rigmarole of a family life or a professional life, to prove to the world that given an opportunity, or even if there is no opportunity, even from the difficult days or tragedy that struck a person, one can certainly rise above. That shows the kind of discipline, mental ability and vigor with which these women have fought to come forward, particularly those who have come forward from remote villages, remote areas, persons who have had a personal tragedy. The life story of Perumal Ramachandran, ANURADHA Mahesh, who found a missing place in the jigsaw puzzle of life to become a social worker, to work towards creating opportunities for the specially abled children. SARADA SRIRAM, the master brain that believed, and rightly so, I also believe in that. But one has to develop the brain first because it is within you, then automate like a calculator. This abacus lady, even my grandchildren have gone, and I am also benefited out of it, thank you, ma'am. Pushkala, befitting her name, to rise above the abundant courage to overcome the family tragedy, to turn the challenges and difficulties as a strength to pursue chartered accountancy, and LAKSHMI RAMAMURTHY, who is working with these underprivileged children. That's a very great achievement, that I should say, more than the professional career. That's how I Because I don't have that ability. When somebody has, I always think I should put myself into her shoes to see how I can do that. These are all lessons to every one of us, that instead of dwelling in despair, these remarkable women took the earliest chance to prepare themselves with grit and fortitude to navigate through the difficult times, to prove to the world that there is no such thing called hurdle in the matter of progress in one's life. See, George Bernard Shaw said, if you have a very illustrious father, the children of the illustrious parents always suffer by comparison. So he said, consider the parentage, lest you will be forgotten. This struck my mind the first day of my entry into my profession. Yes, my father was a wizard in taxation, so to my uncle. This was before my marriage. The house was something like an income tax act. Every budget day, there will be a big gathering like a parliamentary session. Right from 3-year-old to 70-year-old, we'll be sitting. The best of the knowledge, whatever comes to our mind, like toothpaste prices going up because of taxation and whatnot. And my mother asked me about, is there a compulsory deposit this year also? These are all nightmarish things for a professional's family. Now, we used to have such a beautiful discussion, and my uncle would immediately dictate in this tape recorder about his impression on that. We used to watch it. So, right from the childhood, the taste for taxation was there. But I always felt, and after reading your life stories also, our preparation of profit and loss account is not as great as our own profit and loss account or the balance sheet in life. This is what we make out of it. Nandita Parik's case is a history that I had seen. She was written at such an early age of 58 to take to spiritual life. It takes a lot of courage for somebody to go into that at the helm of a peak of her career. We have SANGEETA SUMESH, VIDYA NAGARAJAN, LAKSHMI RAMAMURTHY, SRIRAM, Rajeshwari Subramaniam, Meenakshi Venkateswaran, whose life stories show the multicolored characteristic of all these persons who spread the wings. It just entices us to follow them. Something really great. I may be a professional. What is it I have achieved? I do not know, compared to what these women have achieved in their professional career as well as in their social responsibility. That makes a lot of difference. And they have also proved to the world that gender is not a consideration in the workplace or in the family. And unless one remains one, that you are a woman, the gender never mattered. So put it in a nutshell, all the nightingales were all given the life history in this book. I wish the Institute makes it as a lesson to the new entrants to the profession, or those who have to enter the profession, and even the schools and colleges, to inspire them not just to join this profession, but as a matter of empowerment. That's very important. Like the fight for justice, empowerment is an ongoing project which involves every being on this earth, and it is not compartmentalized to one segment of the society alone. With the kind of collaborative activity that is happening in the Institute, I am confident that the enlightened, accomplished men and women will join together to give a good push for those who are aspiring to be professionals and ultimately, above everything, as good human beings. The book starts with three beautiful concepts which attracted my attention the moment I opened. Choice, chance, and change. What do they convey? I have a very small story before I conclude. A girl in despair, lamenting, all the time fretting, depressed that she had not achieved what she should achieve in life. Life is not going the direction she wanted to. Feeling the plight of this young daughter, his father said, please come and sit here. He brought three things. I think most of you know about the story also. One potato, one egg, and coffee beans. In three different kettles he put them, in boiled water. After 5 minutes he took them all, kept them on a plate. He asked his daughter, look at this, what is it for? You touch and see what it is. You know how potato was, how the egg was, what the coffee beans are. The girl gave a very perplexed look into this. She couldn't decipher. Apparently because she was overcome by the despair. He said, before boiling, how was the potato? It was very hard. Put it in the boiling water, it became very soft. Take the egg. It has such a brittle shell holding something like a fluid, very soft inside. But when you put it into the water, the shell as well as the yolk inside became a hard one. What about these coffee seeds, coffee beans? When you put it in the boiling water, it gave such an aroma around wherever it is. It drew people towards it. So different people reacted differently to the same kind of a thing, the boiling water. And ultimately he said, what is the lesson you are drawing out of it? He said, whenever adversity knocks at your door, all that we want you is react like the coffee beans, not like the potato or the egg. So that when the time comes, you seize the opportunity to spread your wings and give such an aromatic flavor everywhere around you. I think that's what all the nightingales have achieved in the professional and the personal career. And given the chance and the choice, I'm confident this entire profession will rise above all limitations that are put on us to spread our wings, to bring cheer to everybody, to make this place a better world to live. And I would only close it with a quotation, a small one from Abdul Kalam, of whom I am a great admirer. He said, future is not some place where we are going in, but one we are creating. True. The path is not to be found, but made, and the activity of making changes both the maker and the destination. I think we are at the crossroads, and this institution will certainly help us to march forward to find our path. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Rights, empowerment are the jargons common without any gender bias. A very, very different perspective. Stop asking for equality. We already are. Thank you for being one among our family. We were able to connect and visualize every single statement of yours. Multicolored personalities, you beautifully brought out the gist of the experience of the entire book and the people out here. Thank you, ma'am. We will definitely strive to be good professionals and good human beings, drawing good P&Ls and balance sheets for the society and for us. Thank you so much.
Signed by only chartered accountant.
Signed by chartered accountant and our own balance sheet signed by committed people like Shivakumar sir. May we now request C.A. Kadresan, Chairman, Chengalpattu branch of SARC, to present a memento to our chief guest. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. Time to honor the Nightingales. May we have the Nightingales to receive their mementos. We request the chief guest to present the mementos to the Nightingales.
Give the buddy.
C.A. SANGEETA SUMESH. Not in any particular order, the order of the mementos. CA SARADA Shriram.
I want the family members also to join. வாங்க முடியுமா ஏறதுக்கு கை மிஷின் வாங்க 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 அப்ப இந்த சான்ஸ் கிடைக்காது உங்க பொண்ணோட போட்டோ எடுத்து ஸ்ரீராம் ஸ்ரீராம் வாங்க கிருஷ்ணன் வந்துட்டாரு வாங்க வாங்க
CA Vidya NAGARAJAN. Just get ready, SARADA Shriram. CA Vidya NAGARAJAN. I think it's high time we say in the Korean Television and Mother is on the back. CA Shripriya Kumar. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause, please.
Vidya, smile here.
CA ANURADHA Mahesh. Next is Mahesh sir on the dais, please. CA Danamai Ramachandran. The man and the family behind her success.
Anna. Lakshman no.
Yeah. For the interviewers and purity given, I request Mr. Malay Selvan to collect the memento for Evangeline and legal excellence from the Chief Justice. one memento to Subhashri for doing everything today. Chartered accountant. The Society of Auditors used to have a function, those good old days, whenever somebody became the chairman of the regional council. I don't know, this is now gone. But anyway, I thought I will reintroduce it by giving a small memento to the chairman, Jalapati.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. May we now request C.A. Retd, Treasurer, SARC, to propose the word of thanks. Good morning. We all know that N stands for Nightingale. We have all heard of the bird Nightingale, and many of us would have also heard the Nightingale song. We would have all read the poem An Ode to Nightingale by John Keats. And all of us know and admire and try to emulate Florence Nightingale, the lady with the lamp and the selfless individual, best known as the founder of modern nursing. But C.A. Shivakumar sir and C.A. Pattabhiraman have changed the associations with the word Nightingale. In the Western spiritual tradition, the Nightingale signifies tradition, virtue, and goodness. And Shivakumar sir and Pattabhi sir have, by inviting Justice Chitra Venkatraman for this book release function, introduced us to this amazing Nightingale, an embodiment of tradition, virtue, and goodness, and who has occupied her seat with enviable grace and dignity, and who accepted our invitation to release this book of Nightingale 3.0. Ma'am, thank you very much for accepting our invitation and sharing your thoughts with us. I'm sure that you have ignited many more Nightingales. You have ignited the Nightingale in each and every one of us sitting here. And I'm sure that your words, there's no such thing in life as a hurdle in the journey. So that those words are going to linger on in our minds like the music of the Nightingale. When we were children, we all would have read the fairy tale, The Emperor and the Nightingale by Hans Christian Andersen. But from today, the stories of these nightingales are ones which we are going to read to our children, because they prove to us whatever life throws at us, it is in our hands to achieve the fairy tale life. Thank you very much to all the nightingales who have come here today to share with us the celebration of their achievements. Believe me, you are all a true inspiration to us, and we all hope that we will be able to emulate your success stories. Shivakumar sir and Pattabhi sir, being the revered teachers, have indelibly imprinted in our minds that N is for Nightingale and not for nest or nota. Thank you very much, sir, for conceptualizing this recognition of the achievements of the chartered accountants, and for sharing with us the song and music of these mighty nightingales and with the world, and deciding to release the third book today when we are celebrating Women's Day with the UN theme of Women in Leadership. And I also did not agree with the rest of the theme which the UN propagated, ma'am, so I've just cut it short as Women in Leadership. Thank you again to P.S. Prabhakar sir, the President of Society of Auditors, for joining us and for partnering with us in this celebration. A very warm thanks to the Chairman of SIRC, C.A. Jalapati, for this joint celebration and the book release. And thank you very much, Kadresan sir, Chairman of the Chennai branch, for joining us and being with us every step of the way. Thank you very much to everyone at SIRC for ensuring the success of this program, and to all the lovely people in the audience for joining us and sharing in the achievements of these nightingales. Yeah, and I'm sorry, I will be failing if I do not thank the D. Rangasamy Fiscal Association and the partner of D. Rangasamy's firm, Anusha, also, who is here.
And last but not the least, a huge thanks to all the family members of these beautiful Nightingales who have supported them in their journeys and joined us in the celebration. Thank you all once again. Please do join us this week. Thank you. Have the national anthem. We will be having it again if we have time.
So we'll quickly break for tea and get back at 11 o'clock for the discussion.
Meeting is adjourned or closed?
Adjourned.
ஸ்டாப் பண்ணுங்க.